My name is Raina Shu. I love hanging out with my friends and just doing anything that involves outdoors or nature.
Raina is our second child, our middle daughter.
She is my best friend in my sister form. We go for ice cream drives and slushy drives. I watch her softball games. I'll play softball with her every once in a while. We'll have sleepovers.
When she was born, there was just something that didn't seem right about her. She was sick a lot. She had pneumonia, she had croup, she had strep, and her skin was really, really paper thin. Her ribs just stuck out. You could see every little thing on her. So something in me was just like, nope, you know what? We need to take this a step further. Cardiologist looked at us and he said, my concern is that the left side of her heart is not connected to her lungs correctly. He said, we're going to need to send her to Milwaukee. And he looked at my husband and I and he goes, I can't help you here. She will require open heart surgery to fix this. We made it. She had this crazy heart defect that, they told us she shouldn't have survived past the first few weeks of life.
I have total anomalous pulmonary venous return and an atrial septal defect, which means my left pulmonary veins were not connected to my heart the way they were supposed to be. An atrial septal defect is a hole in your heart, and mine was quite large, but it did keep me alive.
Right after the surgery, everything was good because we were like, oh, whew, okay, we got this now. Everything's gonna be okay. We're on the right path here. We're going this way, and then
we went to school.
Once this whole school thing started, that's when things started to get crazy.
I was really frustrated. School was hard. I hated school. I didn't want to go to school.
Second grade, I will tell you, almost broke us. It actually may have broke us. That was a tough year. We had started the process for her IEP, and I think that people didn't really think that Raina had a learning issue or that the anxiety was playing the role it did play in her day-to-day school life. I think they thought that she just really was a disruptive, naughty kid, and we were parents that couldn't see it.
I felt really stupid. I felt different. I felt like I didn't belong in a school with all those kids because they were all understanding things that I just could not get. When all my teachers and all the staff at school thought I was the naughty kid, when really I just was struggling so much.
We didn't understand what she was going through, so it was hard for us to understand. So that was difficult on our part.
But I had really, really given up hope that she would ever lose this naughty kid kind of stigma. I felt very hopeless and broken.
My classmates were mean. They made fun of me for needing extra breaks and needing snacks. They made fun of me for carrying around my water bottle. They made fun of me for having a line down my chest. And they didn't understand the process of how I learned things and how my body worked.
It was hard to watch her, just see kids pick on her.
When a child has a chronic and complex medical condition, they're not just affected from a medical sense. They go through a lot of trauma, dealing with the symptoms of that medical condition over a long period of time with these chronic conditions. And it's not just the child who goes through this on their own. Their whole family goes through it.
But it was hard on me. It was hard because I wanted their attention, but I know she needed their attention more than I did.
I was fortunate enough to meet some moms who kind of had some information from Children's Hospital about kids with heart defects and how their brains worked and how school really, could be for them.
Raina Shu is a very special, vibrant young woman. And in the classroom, being animated and outspoken is not always appreciated by the teacher and the rest of the students when you're in a quiet learning or instructional environment. So Raina struggled with that because she has a loud voice and she projects her voice really well. She's great at being heard, but she didn't necessarily know how to be heard in the right way.
We were introduced to the education program down at the Herman Hart Institute, and I'm like, when we started the process and I started filling out paperwork, it was pretty tough. It was a little emotional, and you had to really share your story and what school was really like, and it was still pretty hard.
We held a meeting over the summer right before the school year started, and we had all of her teachers in a room. So every teacher and school support staff that was going to be interacting with Raina.
Christy came and they did all the work and told her medical history and her story and how kids with a congenital heart defect, how their brain works.
We did our guidebook presentation and explained her health history, both her cardiac history and her emotional and mental health diagnoses. And then we related all of that to the learning challenges she had and the types of supports she receives under her IEP, both in the general education classroom and in her special ed classroom.
There was an IEP meeting, and Raina did not attend that, but Christy did from Children's Hospital and had a wealth of information to share regarding Raina's condition from age 4 on that gave me a lot of information that needed to be in the IEP.
That first meeting was really kind of blew me away. So we had set up the room for 4 or 5 people, and we ended up having, I think, 8 or 9 people in the room, and immediately had the sense that there were folks coming to help with some needs and some conversations that we just don't typically have around student needs, specifically with their health. So my first impression was, this is great, but it was unfamiliar.
She went on to explain to them why that is like that is with these kids. And I think that really, really made a huge difference. Not just to say, oh, you know, cardiac kids' brains don't work like everybody else's because of X, Y, and Z, and they have these things that happen, and so they learn different or things are different for them. It was explained to them in a way that they could connect to Raina. And when she got done, she had said, we are not here to make this extra work for you. We are not here to make things harder for you. We are here to be an extension of you and to make things easier for you.
It helped having that whole big picture to sort of understand, okay, so this is her whole medical condition, and then here's how it manifests. Here's how we might see it at school.
Children's did a wonderful job of presenting that same information. When I heard that information that Christy gave to us and showed us visuals of the heart and what the normal heart looks like and what her heart was doing, it was informational. It was overwhelming, but very helpful.
That kind of set Raina up for success because everyone on the team knew what she needed and they were all connected. So it was really a great partnership that we built with our school and that they were able to sustain throughout her time in middle school.
Well, school started, and I kind of collectively held my breath, and I would say something to my husband. I'm like, okay, she's okay. Things are good. She's doing her homework. She's laughing. She wants to go to school. And I'm like, this is a kid we have not seen. We don't know who she is.
I had an amazing group of teachers that year. Not only did they understand how I learned, but they also helped me in so many ways that are unexplainable. From struggling in reading and math to going to B's and A's, because my teachers were there for me. They understood how I learned. They helped me in every possible way that they could. They'd walk me through the math problems. I would take tests, and I'd take half the test at some point in the day, and then when I would go to reading class, I'd finish the test. And they just really were so amazing with helping me figure out how to manage my way in a new school and meet new people, and they were just so great with teaching me.
Our experience since starting the program and where we are is night and day.
Like, it was so hard for the longest time, but with a great support system and some great family and some great friends, it all plays out in the end. And it really is so amazing.
Now I know that we have all the wheels in motion and the tools in place that Raina needs and her school will need to help her be even more successful.
Because she's thriving so well, we expect her to do very well in high school, but we'll continue to be there to support her.
She has truly, truly embraced what school is all about. And I cannot even believe the difference in her in 2 years and where we've come from and how we are. If I could sing from the mountaintops and tell you, I would, because I never thought we would be here.
The beauty of this program is it is personalized and customized to the need of the child. So where a parent is feeling like, I need help, they maybe don't know what kind of help they need, and this helps bridge that gap between the parent's feelings of I need help, the child's actual need for help, and the school's willingness and ability to help. And I think it brings it all together.
Once we learned that we could add this program to her IEP, and it would be an extension of her IEP, and not to add additional work, but things that would help and enhance what she was already doing. This is an enhancement and makes it even better and stronger for years and years to come, and it will give them tools for them to last their whole life.
It's extremely rewarding to be able to not just help the child, but help the whole family overcome a lot of the trauma they've been through, and sometimes for the first time see hope, see a chance for their child to really achieve in a way that they've always wanted them to, but never really been able to see before we became involved.
This program changed not only Raina's school life, but our life. Sorry. When I tell you school almost broke us, it really did. It was tough. This seemed to be the light at the end of the tunnel.
I love sports. I have a high passion for anything that involves sports, whether it's watching, playing. Softball is my #1 sport. I would give anything up for the field.
She takes it seriously when she's out there too. She loves it.
She's got a bright future ahead of her. I know she wants to help kids like her, and I think she's gonna be so good at that. She has such a big heart, and I hope she just goes for it, because whatever she goes for, she'll achieve.
My all-time biggest career dream is to be a pediatric cardiologist and help kids just like me, or a nurse in the cardiac ICU. But if that doesn't work out, I would love to be an FBI agent.